What is up, y'all? Back here again. Second time today, as promised. If you didn't watch my video earlier this morning, I tier ranked the top 50 players in the NBA from last season. So if you didn't get a chance to watch that, go check it out. It is on my page. Um, but in this video, gonna switch up the vibe a little bit. Not gonna be tier ranking, doing quizzes or anything. Going back and talking about rumors and news around the league. So to get started, uh, as we all know, JJ Reddick is now the Los Angeles Lakers head coach going into next season. He signed a multi-year deal. So off of that, he had a press conference with Rob Pelinka. I don't know if it was yesterday, it might have been the day before, but it was in the last couple of days. And I've seen a lot of people comparing it to Darvin Ham's interview that he had whenever he first became the coach, and really just saying, "Oh, look how JJ's treating this interview. He's going to make him so much more successful, more of a better coach than Darvin Ham was." And at the end of the day, I understand what they're saying, but at the same time, how you're treating your welcome to the team interview is not going to determine how good of a coach you are. But I do have to say, JJ Reddick did a great job. I went into watching the interview still having like questions. I still do have questions about how good of a coach he's going to be, but the way that he talked about everything he's done up to this point and the manner in which he was answering the questions that he was asked, it gave me a lot of confidence that he was gonna be, I don't know, that he's gonna do a good job. He's gonna do a good job. And one of the biggest things that stuck out to me is him talking about how he's already like reached out to pretty much everybody on the team. He said there's a couple guys he hasn't been able to get in contact with, but it's not like he's just okay. I just got the job. I'm just gonna reach out to LeBron and AD, and I'll get to know everybody else later. No, like he's already out here. Like he's talking to D'Angelo Russell. He's talking to Austin Rivers, Rui Hachimura, Jaden Hood-Schifino, Max Christie. So, I mean, he's already kind of building that relationship with the team, which which is good. Obviously, he's coming off of Darvin Ham being their coach, and we know how that went. But also, one of the major questions that he was asked like a few times, like it kind of caught me off guard because usually reporters they're listening and paying attention. If something's already asked, they're like, okay, I'm not gonna ask that anymore. But he got asked this multiple times. People kept on asking him, so, JJ, how are you gonna set this culture? How are you gonna implement what you want to implement since you're like the same age, like you're friends with LeBron and everything like that? And he kind of just answered with talking about how it starts from day one. It starts right now. I can't wait until the season starts. We start practicing. It starts right now. I got to be in pretty much constant communication with these guys and telling them what I expect from them and what they expect from me, and just building that transparency so that everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing day in and day out. And I love it. I love it. I feel like a lot of coaches in the league, like if they were, especially if they're coaching somebody like LeBron, they're they're kind of gonna push that off. They're like, okay, LeBron's got it. Like he's gonna be the one that's gonna hold everybody accountable. But no, like JJ's already talking about how it's on everybody. It's not on one person. Like everybody has to hold everybody accountable, and it starts day one. So I love that. And since we're already talking about the Lakers a little bit, another thing that I would love to talk about is Austin Reeves. Everybody knows Austin Reeves has, you know, he's had his hype these last couple years. He's had his criticism these last couple years, and the Lakers seem to be very set on keeping him and not building around him, but like having him as a main piece of their team for the next few years and for the future. Because everybody, like, it seems very clear that the Hawks are going to be trading one of two of either DeJounte Murray or Trae Young. And at the trade deadline, um, we got news that the Hawks were offering DeJounte Murray, and there was picks and balls and everything, but it was DeJounte Murray for Austin Reeves, and the Lakers turned it down. And I've been seeing things about a relatively similar deal being being put up in the air now, and that's interesting to me because I think that DeJounte Murray is somebody that would really help this Lakers team, and also if they something I'd be very interested in would be if these teams can come together and kind of be like, okay, we don't want to do 1-for-1, but maybe we can do DeJounte Murray, Clint Capella for Austin Reeves, and maybe throw in some of those younger guys I mentioned earlier, like Jalen Hood-Schifino, Max Christie, something like that. Since those guys aren't really seeing minutes, to kind of help the Hawks as it looks like they might be trying to go in a new direction, and see if there's some way that they could make something like that work out. And also with that deal, if they were able to get Clint Capella, that would allow Anthony Davis to play the 4. Everybody knows Anthony Davis wants to play the 4, and I think that would be a win-win for both of these teams. As the Lakers will be getting better, they're adding an all-star caliber guard and a high-quality center. He's not as good as he used to be like 3-4 years ago, but he's still a good starting center for the NBA. And even if he's not, you have Anthony Davis. Let Anthony Davis keep on playing the 5, and then Clint Capella will be one of the best backup bigs in the league. I don't know. That's my thought process on that. And then, kind of just to finish off this video, I'm not gonna make this too long or anything. There's been some re-signings and deals that have been announced already. I know I'm a couple days late on some of these, but Pascal Siakam re-signing with the Pacers. Love it. If they would have let him go, that would have been the biggest mistake in their franchise. He re-signed to a 4-year, $190 million deal. Not an overpay. I know I've been seeing people saying he's getting overpaid. He's not getting overpaid. They traded for him. You can't allow somebody that you just traded for to walk in free agency, especially when he's the type of player that he is. We saw what he did in the playoffs for them. I'm a Knicks fan. I've said this multiple times. I'm a Knicks fan. He was killing us. We couldn't guard him. It seems like anytime he got the ball in the mid-range, he's either popping the midi. I swear he did not miss a mid-range all series. And if it's not that, he's attacking the basket. And most of the time he's finishing it. If he's not finishing it, he's kicking it. And you can't let a player like that walk. That's a great deal for them. I love it. And I think he fits well with what they're wanting to do. I hope they're able to bring some more guys in, whether it's through trade or free agency. But I don't think the team that they have now is good enough to get where they want to get. They need to keep on adding, not get content with just having Pascal. The next one, I haven't really seen a lot of people talking about this. It's not as big of a deal, but Gary Payton just opted into his player option with the Warriors, which is huge for them. He's been a big part of their team for the last few years. Really carries their perimeter defense for the most part. I love that. I already talked about this one a little bit. Malik Monk re-signed with the Kings. I don't know if I talked about it on here or on the podcast. Podcast in the description, by the way. They needed to do that. They needed it. He provides them with a huge spark off the bench, and sometimes he starts, but he's one of the best bench players in the league, averaging like 15 points and 5 assists, and huge re-sign for them, because I know there was a lot of talk about him wanting to leave or get a bigger role somewhere, but the fact that they were able to keep him, I love it. And then last, Scotty Barnes. Massive extension with the Raptors. I believe it was about $270 million for 5 years, and I've I've seen a lot of people on Twitter talking about how he's not worth it, and that you don't understand max contracts based off of potential. But I don't know. Scotty Barnes is he plays 1 through 4 for them. He's their best player. He's so versatile. He's one of the best young two-way players in the league. You have to pay a guy like that whenever he has such a high ceiling that he has. Like, he has the potential to be a top 10 player in the league one day. He's not there right now. He's not close to being there right now, but he has that type of potential. And the fact that there's people complaining about him getting paid like that, I don't really understand it. But I love it. I don't care that it's a massive contract. I think that comes out to be like 50 something million a year. You're the Toronto Raptors. Who else are you gonna give that money to? Your team's young. Nobody's going to Toronto in free agency. You gotta do what you gotta do. Anyways, that's all I got for us today. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget about the podcast. Subscribe to that. It's on Apple, YouTube, and Spotify. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.